Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry about the lighting. I'm in the living room, as you can see, and the sun went down. It will come back. So today is the first book review. I told you guys I love to read. I am a romance novel type of girl. Give me the alpha male, the rich male, I love it. I read it. I can stay up all night reading a book. So the first book review I had to deal with about my favorite author. Her name is T.L Swan. Honey, when I tell you her books from start to finish, I love every single one I've read so far. I'm almost down to all of her books, but I'm trying to hold off because I just love her so much and she just makes me so happy, and I'm trying not to read through them too fast. I think I have maybe 3 books left of her writing, whatever. So I currently fell in love with her series. She has a couple of series. One is the Miles High Club. It's about 4 brothers who work in a company, and they are just about their love story, clearly. The first book in the series is The Stopover. This is I don't think he's the oldest brother. He might be the oldest brother, but he's the CEO of the company. I loved it. It was a 10 out of 10 for me. I just happened to fall in love with book number 2, which is what this book review will be about, which is Tristan Miles. He's the takeover king. He basically buys companies and he takes them over, flips them, makes them successful, sells them, whatever. He's just... But even though this is about, she just released the 3rd book in the series, The Casanova, and it's about Elliot Miles. I haven't read this one yet. I'm waiting to read it until I finish my state exam for dialysis. It's my prize to myself is this book. But yeah, it's pretty thick and I cannot wait to read it, and I know it will be everything everyone is saying it is. So anyway, back to Tristan. So Tristan Miles, honey, when I tell you he is everything and more. Claire's a lucky woman. She's a lucky woman. He is everything you would want in a man. Yes. So in this book, it's about Claire and Tristan. Claire is a widow, and she currently is the CEO of Anderson Media, which is her ex-husband's, which is her husband's company that he built, and it's going belly up. So Tristan wants to buy it, and Claire hates everything about Tristan and the Miles brothers and the company, and she will not sell Wade's company for anything. She's determined to get it back successful, and so she has something for the boys. Claire has 3 sons, Fletcher, Harrison, and Patrick, and she's determined to keep her husband's legacy alive. Tristan's you can't do it. There's no way, just let me have it and be done with it, and that's it. And Claire's no. So her assistant sends Claire on a conference, and it happens to be a conference where Tristan is speaking. They end up having a one-night stand, an affair, whatever you want to call it. They end up being together, and Claire thought that would be the last time she saw Tristan. Tristan happens to eat up everything about Claire. He loves everything from the way she looks to the way she talks to the way she handles herself. Tristan just can't get enough of Claire. So they live in New York. Claire lives on Long Island. Tristan lives in Manhattan. And Tristan, when they get back from the conference, I think maybe a day later, he ends up going to Claire's house. This is where Tristan meets the boys. it is the most hilarious thing I have ever read in a book, ever. That scene in this book had me dying. It was so funny. I don't want to give it away because it's really a good part in the book, but it was funny. So after that encounter, Tristan runs. He cannot even fathom that those are her kids. They are a nightmare to him, and he is out of there. The oldest son, Fletcher, ends up applying for a program that they have in Miles' company, and it takes young people who want to be in the media, and they train them and they bring them up, whatever. So Fletcher ends up getting an interview, and Tristan is the interviewer. And when they both see each other, like, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. Make a long story short, Tristan asks Fletcher, what's the purpose of being here? And he's like, I want to take over Miles Media so my mom can live her life and enjoy her life. Tristan's like, okay. And Fletcher's like, you can take your job, shove it up your ass, and he leaves. So Tristan ends up giving Fletcher a chance and offering him the internship. Claire didn't want him to take the internship in the beginning, but she ends up letting him do it, and that's how they end up with this love story. Tristan ends up going back to the house and building a relationship with Patrick, which is the youngest son, and he ends up building a relationship with Fletcher because, like, him and Fletcher go through it a lot in the beginning, but not so much as he goes through it with Harrison. Harrison does not want to accept Tristan at all. He's the one that misses his dad the most and who's not the problem child. He's just misunderstood. And in the beginning, Tristan has a nickname for him, the Wiz, which the Wizard, because his name is Harrison, Harry Potter, whatever. So he ends up building a bond with Harrison, and they have an incident with Harrison, and Tristan ends up being his backbone and ends up being his friend. And I think that's what broke Harrison the most, with the walls between him and Tristan. And when Tristan was there for him, that was what solidified their relationship. So Tristan and the boys end up building a great relationship, and Claire ends up grieving her husband when this is happening, on top of Media Miles going down and down and down and down. She doesn't tell Tristan that the company is sinking as bad as it is, because she's just like, I want him to be proud of me, whatever. So because he's getting so close to the boys, like, she can't take it, and he ends up trying to buy them a house, and she just snaps. She's like, you are not the boy's father, and I don't care. These are Wade's boys, blah, blah, blah. And they end up breaking up. The boys end up furious with their mother, and they don't care. They love Tristan. They want Tristan as their dad. And Claire is like, you're going to respect your father, even though he's not here. I think it's so sad, because it's like you're in the midst of moving on with your life, but because someone else is not here, you don't want to, supposedly. It's just kind of like in a rock and a hard place or whatever. But he had been dead for 5 years in the book, so it was kind of time for Claire to, like, move on. And if you were going to move on to anybody, Tristan Miles is the top of the tier, honey. So yeah, so they end up making away, falling in love, and this book is just great. So yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's a great read. It's amazing. Steamy wise, I give it a 3 to a 4, because the heart of the book is really the boys, and it's really not focused on their sexual relationship so much. They're not really, like, you know, like the stopover. They're not with no kids, and, like, they're in a different place in this book as far as this. This book is really about family and building one and becoming one, as opposed to the whole sexual part. There are some great sex scenes in here, and give it to you. Tristan knows how his way to a woman in this book. Yes, honey. And if you want your man to play some out of these roles, let him meet Tristan. But yeah, the heart of the book is the boys. So go read it. If you want more book reviews, give this video a thumbs up, a like, a comment, and please subscribe to my channel, guys. Go check out T.L Swan. She's amazing. And you will not be disappointed in her writing style. You will not be disappointed in her. She is brilliant. I can't wait to read the Casanova. If you have read this already, let me know. I have a book review. I have a bookstagram, they call it. I will leave it down below. I have a couple of book reviews on there. Not so much. I'm still getting into the flow of talking about a book and not giving too much away. But let me know how you like Elliot. I've heard some good things about him. I don't think he could beat Tristan, but I can't wait to see where Tristan and Claire are in this book as well, because, you know, they bleed in together. They are brothers. So I cannot wait to read where they are in here. But yeah, this is her newest book. Go check it out. And again, I will see you in the next video.